Where to start if you want to do a business. Personally, I say write your story. And I was speaking with someone today and they said, me write my book, I have nothing to share. We all have something to share. We've all have lived experiences. And it's about aspects of our story that we feel that's going to impact, inspire other people.
A lot of people start with something, but they don't have the full picture. So they're doing things piecemeals, and then what they end up having is a Frankenstein kind of business. You don't want to have a Frankenstein kind of business because that is a nightmare business to have.
What is important is always the fundamentals, which is knowing the audience that you are serving, because everybody do not consume information the same way. Whether you are going to use long form content or short form content in terms of the story you are telling, it's going to be determined by who are you telling the story to, and in this case also, in what platform, in what medium are you using to reach them.
I believe starting from writing your story, penning your story down, and thinking about the aspects of your life that can empower somebody else, that can give hope to somebody else, and writing that down. And if you need somebody to help you to get a book coach, well, I believe starting from that point is writing down your story to then put it into a book. And that's where I would start.
Hi, and thank you for checking out this short clip from Obehi Podcast. I'm Obehi Ewanfoh, the host of the Obehi Podcast. This short clip was created from a full episode where we dive deep into this conversation. To see the entire video, all you need to do is to click on the link in the description of this video. Now, while you are there, I want to share something with you quickly. Are you a purpose-driven entrepreneur? Do you want to cut across the noise and attract the right audience, leveraging the power of storytelling? Now pay attention. I'm currently working on a signature program to help you own your story and stand out for the competition. It's a 5-step journey to help reshape your professional and business narrative so you can drive success and stand out in the competition. And in less than 90 days. The link is what you see on your screen, academy.aclasses.org/story. Now this is what we have understood. Storytelling is the most powerful instrument that is known to man. And this is what this could mean to you. You could either choose to own your story and leverage it to amplify your message and whatever you represent in this world, or some other person could own that story. The choice is yours. So why not take advantage of your story and use it wherever you are, whether you are in business environment or you are a professional individual who want to be able to build your influence and leave a legacy behind because you represent something. You are owning your story. You are somebody whose story is important. So the choice again is yours. Now let's get started with this short clip. I am going to start the question like this. Where should we start from? And for a beginner who wants to even get the basis of what is meant to make money from storytelling, where should we start from? I will take this question to Tanya Kole. Then after that, we move to Tanya Kabuya, who is a business strategist. Because Kole, you are a publisher, so probably you are the best person to start this with us. Please go.
Thank you. Great question. So where to start if you want to do a business? Personally, I say write your story. And I was speaking with someone today and they said, me write my book, I have nothing to share. We all have something to share. We've all have lived experiences. And it's about aspects of our story that we feel that's going to impact, inspire other people. For example, 2018, I wrote my book, Open Doors, and I share about when my mom had me in the 70s. She was 16 and pregnant and told to leave home. But I encourage people throughout that book that your beginning doesn't have to be your end, because she became the first person in her family to graduate university and become a social worker. She's now one of my authors. She's a licensed minister. She's a coach. So it's, I believe, starting from writing your story, penning your story down, and thinking about the aspects of your life that can empower somebody else, that can give hope to somebody else, and writing that down. And if you need somebody to help you to get a book coach, what I believe, starting from that point, is writing down your story to then put it into a book. And that's where I would start.
All right, that is pretty brilliant, because now that it is written, it is history. That is actually what was told to me in 2010, because in 2010 I wrote a book that I titled Underdevelopment in Africa, My Hands Are Clean. Actually, it's a research book where I talked about how much African people should hold themselves accountable for what is happening in Africa, despite the fact that we might blame the Europeans for what they did in Africa, which of course is legitimate. But I have come to understand that we're not going to go anywhere if we only know how to blame without taking part of the blame. So that is the thesis of the book. So I called some people to share with me, because I usually like to work with people. So the guy that came from Milan is from Cameroon, who came to present the book with me in Verona. It says something really very important, that Peter, because you have written this book, it becomes history. So I really like that, Tanya. I like what you said there, that we should start with writing it down. Write it down. Okay, that is a good one. I got that. All right, we will move to our business strategist, Tanya Kabuya. Okay, if it is written down, so what? How do we turn that into business?
First of all, I love the fact that Tanya said, write it down. The next thing is always, how do you make money from this? I decided to make money from my stories through a business. Some may decide courses, some may decide services. It's always important to know exactly what it is that you're trying to achieve. So the biggest issue that I have, because I also coach a number of entrepreneurs, is that a lot of people start with something, but they don't have the full picture. So they're doing things piecemeals, and then they end up having is a Frankenstein kind of business. You don't want to have a Frankenstein kind of business, because that is a nightmare business to have. So you want to start, what is it that you are trying to achieve? I always say there are different types of businesses that you have to create in life. Not everybody needs to create the same type of business. Some businesses are what we would say lifestyle businesses. Some businesses are scalable businesses. And some businesses are just passive income type of businesses. You need to make a decision on what it is that you're trying to achieve. Are you trying to create a situation where you are going to completely shift away from your 9 to 5 and travel around the world and not have a K in the world? What if that is your vision? Then with that, what is the model you're going to have? Because then that's how you will be able to market your story. Because writing your story is the first step. The second step is writing stories that connect to the market, so that they are able to understand exactly what you do, so they can buy from you. So you have your story, good, we got this right. Now, what is it that we are going to share with the market, so they are now going to listen to Laurel, or they're going to listen to Jason and say, okay, I can see where Jason is coming from. I can see how Jason is bringing value to me. One thing I always preach is that we make decisions in a very different manner compared to any other species. And I recently wrote a piece on my newsletter here on LinkedIn, where I titled that the ethos, pathos, and logos. And for those that are familiar with those terms, those are like the terms that are used to describe how we make decisions and how we market. So ethos are obviously how we have our ethics in terms of what we do. And then we have our pathos, which are the emotional things that we connect with. And then we have our logos, which are the logical things.
Thank you for checking out this video. Are you getting enough value from it? You see, this video was created for the purpose of adding value to you. So if this video make any sense to you, let me know in the comment section below. I'm interested in understanding what you take away from this video and if it makes sense to you, so we can provide more. But let's return to the video.
So what are the different stories that you are going to have to implement in terms of your marketing that are going to share your ethos, pathos, and logos to the market so they are able to buy from you? So once you've written your story down, now you want to think about that. Okay, how am I going to connect with ethics, the values that the market has? Because some people value the ethics, the values that the business has. Some people value logic. You need to know what type of business of people you're trying to speak to. Because, for example, if you're trying to speak to me, I have an investor way of thinking. So if you're trying to speak to me in saving words, in terms of the stories that you're using is about how you're saving money, for example, that's not going to speak to me because that's not the mindset. So you need to be able to realize, okay, what type of buyers will I be trying to speak to? When I'm trying to speak to corporate businesses, I'm speaking to a lot of people that are logical, that are investors, that are premium buyers. Those are different ways of thinking and approaching things. So when I'm talking about ethos, pathos, and logos, those are people that will have a whole lot of logos and a whole lot of ethos and some pathos. So you need to be able to incorporate all that into your marketing and how you tell stories to the market, because that's what I do, tell stories to the market to get them to spend money. So you need to be able to know how you tell your stories that can transfer into cash. Unless we are here, we don't like cash, we have moved into another world. Now I love that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Tanya. That is great. That is great. Of course, we love cash. We most love cash. You know, if you are in business and you don't have cash, that business is not going to run. And if you are a human being, you don't like cash. I don't know how you are living. Maybe you are living on charity. And we don't want to live on charity. We want to be able to own our businesses. We want to be in charge of our life, in the sense that we should be able to buy what we want to buy, because money is a means to exchange value. If we don't have it now, then how are we able to get value? Except maybe the one that somebody gives to us for free. Like maybe somebody gives you a bottle of water for free, but that is not what you want. You want to be able to choose what you want to drink and when you want to drink. So yeah, thank you so much for the sharing, Tanya. That is really beautiful. I was saying that there is something that we are going to touch on the title itself, which is make money with your storytelling skills. I like this skills because without these skills, sometimes we are not able to move on in what we have to do, because we need these skills to be able to make the story. Because like I was saying just now, the information is there, because it's not like we are really going to invent everything now. You have the information, but you need to package it. No, what is important is always the fundamentals, which is knowing the audience that you are serving, because everybody do not consume information the same way. Whether you are going to use long form content or short form content in terms of the story you are telling, it's going to be determined by who are you telling the story to, and in this case also, in what platform, in what medium are you using to reach them.